It is hot and steamy here in the studio.
It certainly is.
And let me tell you, that last band, again, folks, that was Fight the Lion, a local DC band. That was track number 2, Let This Die. This band, Chandler, was so hot. I'm feeling it. It's totally feeling the pulse of our late night show. I had the privilege of giving them, anointing them, a second play on our show in one evening.
Well, congratulations.
I'm amped.
They were on Local Licks last night.
Were
DC
they really?
101. Yep, they get on airplane on DC 101 actually.
So they go to DC 101 and they move up to Chandler and Rhea? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Of course. Right, exactly. So Chandler, you know we have on next some very special guests.
Okay, let me have it.
Our charity for the week is the Too Young Foundation. This also is very near to my heart, so I'm very, very excited to have our guests on. We have Chris Goodwin, who's the vice president of the TooYoungFoundation.org. Is that it?
Yeah, 2YF.org.
2YF.org.
The number 2.
Okay, the number 2 not spelled out. And then Jody Lee or Lay? Jody Lee, the public relations director of Too Young Foundation. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And all that information is posted on our website, chandlerandrhea.com. So people should be able to go right to your website from our website.
Awesome.
Okay, so Too Young Foundation, what is it about? Tell us a little story about who this foundation honors.
Okay, so the Too Young Foundation, it was actually founded in 2004 by Brian Bedell, good friend of ours. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he wanted to start this foundation to try to do something good to help other people that were fighting this disease.
And he's young, right? He was like 33 years old?
Yeah, he was 33 when he was diagnosed, yep. Okay. And he started this foundation, and we started doing fundraisers, actually initially to help Brian and his wife Amy, because it was interesting, your last guest, just hearing about, the health care situation.
Yeah.
They were both, fully insured. Brian worked for the American Red Cross. She was a public school teacher. And what we saw is that when Brian got sick and wasn't able to work anymore, it took a long time for his disability to kick in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and insurance didn't cover a lot of things. Like, he decided to do his treatments down at Duke University, and they had to travel back and forth. And so we held some fundraisers to help raise money for the Bedells initially, and then finally Brian wanted to get this foundation up and going, and so we've been raising money. And we've been donating it to the Duke University, the Robert Tisch Brain Tumor Center down at Duke University.
Wait, back up. Help me understand something. I understand the travel costs from the Northern Virginia area to Duke University can become exorbitant really quickly. But are you saying that he had to pay for those treatments, or was he in a special research program?
He had to pay for a lot of the travel costs to go to when he was going to different places.
Okay. Right, but when he was at Duke University, did he have to pay to be treated?
No.
No.
The insurance covered that. Yep.
Oh, okay.
The insurance covered that.
And because he was so young, he had a lot of experimental treatments and things and programs that he actually discovered himself, and some of his family members discovered himself by doing the research.
Oh, really?
Online, yeah. So,
wow.
Which is unfortunately a lot of the time the way it works. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and
so we started having these fundraisers, and really
annual fundraisers, or just throughout the year?
Yeah, it started out as annual fundraisers to help the Bedells, and then once they were okay, then we started raising money to help other families that had been diagnosed with brain tumors that were going through the same thing, and then also, as I said before, to help find a cure through the Brain Tumor Center at Duke University. Now,
unfortunately, the treatments that he got just weren't enough to combat the willful intent of this nasty tumor.
Yeah,
right?
so he had a grade 4 glioblastoma, which is that's a one way
you
don't survive that. Yeah,
okay,
you don't survive that. But his surgeons have actually been on. I've seen them. It's crazy. I'll watch 60 Minutes and I see Brian's doctor on there. I mean, he is the world-renowned expert on this stuff. And even just from when Brian was diagnosed to today, we're already seeing progress being made in the fight against brain tumors. So Duke University,
in terms of awareness, or in terms of finding ways to decode?
Just in terms of people longevity of life and quality of life. I mean, they are as Jody said, they're doing some experimental stuff down there that is really, I think, promising, I'll say.
Okay.
And we've already just seen the effects of it, because the other thing about this cancer that Brian has, it affects a lot of young children, which is also why everything that we do, we try to especially do events where children, family, a lot of people can attend. And then also we like to take a lot of the money that we raise and do grants that are specifically geared toward children who are affected by this, who have more of a chance of surviving something, going through all of this experimental treatment now.
Okay, now wait a minute. I mean, we all hear about lung cancer and skin cancer, and brain cancer is just not something that is a common thing that people acquire. So it was tragic when Brian came down with brain cancer because he was so young, but I never heard of children getting brain cancer. I mean, like leukemia and cystic fibrosis and stuff, the known children conditions and diseases, but brain cancer for children, like how does a child get brain cancer? Have they figured it out yet?
No, they're still, and that's part of the dollars that we're putting into that is for the research part of it. Okay. So we can determine, you know, based upon the money that we get, okay, we want this percentage to go to the research, we want this percentage to go to helping a family specifically who is in need, who can't afford, you know, the dollars and everything. So we're able to give that to them.
And in fact, we recently just gave, so one of the things we try to do is each year, we give a $5,000 grant to, you know, a family, and this year we gave one to Declan Carmichael, who the family lives in Ashburn, and they're doing a lot of their treatments in Fairfax.
Ashburn, Virginia.
They're doing their treatments down. Some of them are in Houston, and he is actually an infant. He was born. They diagnosed him with a brain tumor, and he's been getting these treatments ever since.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Oh wow! And go ahead.
I was going to ask, what's the fundraiser this year?
Well, it's something that we do every single year, and actually because Brian was so entrenched in sports, I mean every aspect of his life, no matter every sport. So one of the big things that Brian really wanted everyone to be a part of was the wiffle ball tournament. So 6 years ago, we actually took over the Northern Virginia National Wiffle Ball Tournament that's held in Vienna, Virginia, and we basically...
Oh wait, that's a national tournament, or is it just region, like DC region?
Well, it's actually national through the entire Wiffle Ball Association.
Yeah.
And so for the region, we have it, but it's basically anybody can participate. So right now we have people coming from Jersey, New York, that are in the other regional wiffle ball tournaments. So
You had me at wiffle.
What?
You had me at wiffle.
And we're just to clarify to our listeners, it's wiffle ball as in like softball, baseball, not like golf or wiffle rugby
right. And
or
that
something.
was one of the things, we wanted to try to find something a little bit different, and just, quick sidebar on how the wiffle thing came about.
Yes, because it's quirky and catchy.
A bunch of us, and we have our good friend Liz Bradley here, who's in the studio with us, by the way. We used to, probably about 25 or 30 of us back in our 20s, had houses down in Dewey Beach.
Yep.
And so we would go down there Friday nights. Yep. We would go down there Friday nights, and everyone would rage, and then Saturday morning we'd wake up, and the girls would all go down to the beach to lay out, and the guys, we'd sit around, maybe get a keg or something, and we would play wiffle ball. Just, sort of, the camaraderie, hanging out while we're playing wiffle ball in the backyard of our beach house.
Naked. No.
I'm not surprised.
Occasionally, right? That's an occasional nude wiffling.
That's why the girls weren't there.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we would, and so when Brian got sick and we were thinking about kind of fun things to do, we said, hey, we should get one of these wiffle balls, because we'd gotten older, we weren't going to Dewey anymore, and we weren't playing wiffle and seeing
Oh, really?
each other.
You outgrew that?
Believe it or not, some of us did. Some of
And
us
we're
did
playing
not.
Saturday, so I'm not sure that we grew out of it.
Right.
Well, Ray and I are going to be there on Saturday.
Yes,
too, right?
yes,
Awesome.
we're going to be there. We're going to be there. So tell us, where is the event being held? Where can people go to?
At Watersfield, right in downtown Vienna, right near Vienna Inn, which I'm sure everybody knows.
The VI, the Vienna.
Yeah.
Just to clarify for our listeners, Vienna is a suburb of Washington, D.C. It's in Virginia. It's about 15 to 20 miles west of D.C. on Interstate 66, and it's just one of the big, large, family community, arenas, let's say, areas. Yeah. So Watersfield, out of all I think Vienna is actually very baseball friendly. Like they just have a ton of baseball fields everywhere, very well groomed. A lot of town support. The youth baseball leagues out there. So Watersfield, I think, is one of the major fields.
Yeah, it is. And if anybody knows, it's right off of 123 and right across from the firehouse. And but we have everything on 2if.org. So if you go on, you can register, you can donate, you can do whatever, and it's basically anybody and everybody is welcome, from kids to adults to crazy people, cool people, whatever.
Well, Jody,
but it's $5 donation is all we ask at the door.
Jody, hang on to that thought. Stay with us. We got a break to go to, music break. We're gonna have you come right back. Please stay with us, and take your time then to tell us all about the logistics, because we want people to come out. It's a great summer fun activity.
Cool.
Folks, you're listening to Chandler and Rhea on B2GX.com.